welcome to another video. It's about 40 days left in men's physique competition, which is gonna occur in Dallas, Texas. So day by day I'm doing this same old same, presenting, my journey, documenting this process, of dieting, workout, rest, life balance, and work. So I started this new job 3 weeks ago in a car dealership as a salesman. First time ever in my life in sales. I'm coming from restaurant background. For many years I worked in restaurants, multi-restaurants, steakhouse, Mexican restaurants. I've been a bartender for a little bit. Started from dishwasher 12 years ago. So you know how it goes. You go to a bosser, food runner, bar back, then you jump a little bit as a server, then you stick to the server job because that's cash ready. And I did some DoorDash, being a bouncer, valet parking attendant. I would say like around 15, 16 jobs I've been through. And this new job is like more challenging because it's commission based. So basically if you don't sell, you don't eat, if you put it like that. But it's been great in ups and downs. Rainy days kind of challenging, it takes you like on a roller coaster emotionally. But you have to have faith and trust the process. But let's go back to the point, to the subject, to the topic, bodybuilding competition. It's something that I was not thinking serious about it till I tried for the first time last year and went there, but I didn't place because I was not prepared. I was actually still fit, doing my thing like normal. It's part of the lifestyle that I'm doing right now. Eat clean, work out and, stay fit. But this time I'm taking, a step ahead, like I'm trying to be more serious, preparing. And it's challenging because you have to be focused and disciplined, doing these videos, preparing time schedule. It's just the whole thing together is like sometimes you collapses, mentally. But we never give up because I always remind myself why I started this and I like always to finish, But this time I want to do higher standard because I want to go and win. Okay, so what it takes to win is to be relentless, not giving up, not caring about what other people can discourage you, let's say, right? Because it's a lot of pros and cons and a lot of haters, a lot of people that are very skeptical, let's say, not haters. They're like, yeah, right, something like that. So the best thing you can do is just mute their voices or stay away from that circle and focus on yourself, because these days the distraction is so easier than ever. You can easily get distracted by social media, TV, things that are not necessary. So once you're busy and you're be proactive, at work, life balance, marriage, you don't have time to be distracted. You know what I'm saying? So I hope things I'm saying will be useful, because that's the point. I'm trying to deliver a valuable message for those that want to jump in this journey. This is beneficial even if you don't compete. Stay fit. It's extends your longevity of your life, right? If you don't do these bad habits, basically you gotta get rid of the bad habits. A lot of us, tend to get tempted to addictions, like sweets, alcohol, drugs, nicotine. All this in excess is bad. But let's say if you want to have a drink once a week with your spouse, it's normal as long as you don't abuse, to affect or I say to be detrimental to your progress. Because you can be Monday to Saturday very, work progressing on your workouts, your physique, your routine, your mindset. And the day you drink and you abuse, and the next day you feel like shit, you feel hangover, and all the progress is ruined because you're dehydrated and you lose muscle and your brain's not focused anymore. So human beings is like a machine, a very complex machine that you need to take care of it by having proper habits, such have enough recovery, rest, eat properly. These days, not gonna lie, man, these days a lot of food ingredients, they're not natural. They might say they're organic, it's just the marketing BS. And I know the calculating your macros is important, but man, who has time for that? Unless you make enough money not to work for nobody, they say you have a passive income and all you do is just want to focus on do this competition, yeah, you have much better chances. But in order to be at that level, you have to do sacrifice. You might be not have enough time to get prepared for that competition. You might be focused on your income. So income plays a huge role in this type of competition because you have to procure yourself supplements such protein powder, creatine, fish oil, glutamine, vitamins. Ideally is to get this, all these supplements is to supplement your diet. But, from the base, you have to get from the natural food like steak, eggs, milk, what else? Vegetables, legumes, like tomatoes, cucumber, real cheese, not yellow cheese, American cheese. That's not real, okay? It's very important to do your own research and figure out things that actually, not necessary. We'll say like that helps your body to be healthy, And of course, once again, I mentioned this in many videos that I'm doing this naturally. I'll always be natural. Okay, I'm not here to brag or argue that hey, I'm actually natural and I'm better than anybody else. No, I've been inspired from these legends, Ronnie Coleman, Arnold Schwarzenegger, that they were like legends, monsters, and I was looking at them like, that's impressive. They look like a gladiator, they look like a high figure of authority, like a leader, like somebody that I will listen to. You know what I'm saying? But the truth behind that is that they were doing some steroids, and we get the stereotype. Oh, steroids, that means you're cheating. I never used steroids, okay, so I cannot speak for them. But based on research, I was getting the information I was getting. There's some consequence, and you're looking at the history, right? Of these bodybuilders, a lot of them actually died at an early age. When you were thinking like they were working out and they look healthy, right? And you think like, oh, they're gonna live 100 years. Well, actually, they didn't even catch 40 or even 30. A lot of youngsters, they're misunderstood, educated, let's say, because they think like if they're fit, they're ripped at the early age of 20, in their early 20s. What they think mainly, let's be honest. They think about how to impress the hottest chick, and by impressing them is to get a nice physique. Okay, I agree. I was in that position as well. But you have to be smart on the long term. It's like investing in something long term. So investing by be consistent on your workout routines, on your diet. Diet shouldn't be considered diet. It should be part of your life, part of your identity, part of who you are. You know what they say, you are what you eat, and it's very true. And with time, with trial and errors, you kind of see what ingredients makes you feel good, because food gives you energy and be able to perform. And I say perform, but I say that word, not less like perform, say function. So basically, those foods that we eat will enable us to function at the optimal rate. Means you have high energy, your attitude is much better, you're faster, you respond quick, and that makes you more successful in things that you love to do, at the job you're doing or the business you're into, because imagine if you eat bad, right? A lot of junk food, a lot of sweet, a lot of artificial food, fake food, whatever you call it, they spike your blood sugar, you feel high, all these energy drinks, and then guess what? Not even at the end of the day, you drop suddenly from energy. It happened to me, I'm talking from experience. I've been drinking Red Bulls, Monsters, and then suddenly I'm like freaking exhausted. And guess what? As a consequence, I'm not responding optimally, and what else? The sleep is affected. You won't sleep good at night anymore because you overstimulated your body, and at night your brain, here's like a neurological situation where I cannot express that because I'm not a scientist, but based on my experience and based on research, I realized that things are not good for me and not good for you, not good for nobody. Think about these people in construction, right? They work hard, they expose their body under pressure, physically especially, right? And instead of to hydrate themselves with proper water or electrolytes water, right? They drink a beer, maybe. This is not very, because it's not allowing, right? But serious now, drinking energy drinks, right? They boost energy, they keep going to finish the day, but when they go home, boom, they go to slam to bed and sleep. But you can do this for a while until your bones, they realize you didn't feed them the proper nutrients. You give them artificial nutrients that it's bad, affect your bones, your internal organs. You feel so tired. You feel like you aged so much, Why I say like that's what I know is do construction. Okay, fine, but you can know how to properly feed your body, or you have a car, right? And think about you have a nice car, super sport car, Ferrari. What gas you gonna put? You're not gonna put the cheapest gas because you're gonna ruin the engine. The engine is super performance, super high standard engine, right? In order to get there to the engine, you have to give proper food and proper workout, lifestyle balance, right? So once you get there, you're not gonna give shitty food or shitty gas to perform at that level, high level. So that's my theory, bro. Like based on my experience through trials and tribulations and errors, that's what I realized about me, right? I do have a sweet tooth, I like cheesecake. Cheesecake is not good because first of all, it's not real. It's just chemicals, you know what I'm saying? And it has a lot of calories. So you might want to be mindful that you want that sweet tooth, that crave, but you gotta back it up with a solid workout to eliminate that, because it turns to be a toxin. All right, so once again, this is from my experience, and I've been listening to podcasts with doctors, scientists, and this and this and that. They all agree with some point, according to human biology. But if you see these doctors, they don't look like they're fit. They were like nerds, okay? Not disrespecting nerds. I was one of them actually in middle school. But when you're so focused on the data, on the information, but you don't take care of your body because you like sedentary, you're still not gonna live long if you're smart, if you don't apply what you know. Because a lot of these scientists, they turn to be teachers, doctors, and they teach others. Some doctors, they actually save lives, I have all my respect for them, for their passion, for their vocation to do good. But some doctors, they're not practicing what they preach. You know what I'm saying? And you can just take a look at them. Some of them, they're overweight, they're diabetic, they're not gonna reach even 70. There's a lot of stress too in their profession. Once again, I'm not against, and I'm not throwing hate, I'm just trying to also figure out my life, and I'm still gotta figure it out for the rest of my life. But that's the beauty of life, once you understand life, you grow, you build more wisdom, and in this life is just you gotta do the best what you can. So what I can tell you guys, this has been a long video, right? 14 minutes, wow. Well, if you stayed to the end, I appreciate, man. Leave me a feedback. Let's see what you liked about it. If you see that was valuable information, genuine, truly authentic from myself, share this video. I'm not asking you to pay, or I'm not advertising, I'm not sponsored. I'm doing this every day, and I like to share this experience to others that they might get inspired. If they get inspired, you want to get somebody else to get inspired, or you feel like somebody needs help to wake up or to get up from the bed, or they're like in that say stage of life where you kind of got disappointed with everything in life, and you feel like, man, it's not worth it. It's like with finances, all this money you make, and it goes through the debt, to the credit cards, and then realize, man, why I'm working so hard for it. So I feel it. I've been through that, you know. But most important is take care of yourself. That's the most important, man. Take care of yourself. You can be rich, but if you're not happy with your life, with your wife, with yourself, the way you look, or you're not a good person, or you don't have a right attitude, that means nothing. You can't be a billionaire. And there's a lot. Some of them they're billionaires and they're not happy with themselves because they're mainly focused to make money, money, money. And I was in that stage to make money, money because I came to this country and I see I want to make money because there's jobs. But these jobs takes a toll on your, you know, your health because you exchange, basically you trade time for money. Once you learn this stage of life and you realize, man, I want to do something greater than that, you know, I want to take care of my family, I want to take care of this, you're going to be like selfless because you already attained that stage when you want to be the best version of yourself. And then what you do, you teach others, you give to others. It's like your tithe. It's like something that you give to your neighbor, to your brother, to your sisters, something that you experienced and we'll see what worked for you and what did not work, and you give to others. And that's like fulfilling you spiritually. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, my physique, right? I gotta show this. So the abs are getting defined more. This part we're working it. Chest, double bicep. Okay. Tricep, natural. All my life I'm gonna be natural edition. So once again, subscribe, like, share, comment, and stay natural. Have faith, trust the process. Oh, and also something new I want to say. Hold yourself accountable. It's very important. You're gonna be the biggest critic of yourself. So you gotta conquer yourself, your mindset, and become the best version of yourself, and you will never regret. See you next time.